Hello, my name is Gil Sadie. I'm president of Air Travel. I'd like to welcome Endologix as a client. After a couple weeks, there are some issues that have come up with the use of Concur, especially some of the new formats that they have, and I wanted to give you a summary of how to have success using Concur with 5 things you have to know. One is to know your profile, taking advantage of the initial booking screen and asking for as much as you can in one request, how you choose flights and hotels, holding and purchasing a reservation, and using TripCase and/or TripIt to manage your booking. Step 1. Know your profile. The sign-in screen before you get to the travel site has an alerts area which will tell you if your credit cards are running out, and it also asks you if you want to join up for TripIt, which is the mobile manager of your trip. We'll talk about that later. Also some notes in here. The travel policy for Endologix is listed here, any after hours if you need them, and our direct agents. As we go over to our profile and we look at the different settings, I want to take to some of the more important parts of the profile. And the most important thing is your credit card. And you have to make sure your credit cards are up to date, accurate, and that they are listed as a hotel, car, or both, or however you are using them. So anytime you need to add a card, you can check one here of what you need. The billing address is very important. All the online carriers such as Southwest Airlines will not be able to complete a booking unless this billing address absolutely matches the same as on the card. Another very important part of your profile are obviously your frequent flyer numbers. But I want you to go through and make sure all this information is accurate. The home address, contact, emergency contact, email addresses. But if you're a AAA member, please check that. Some hotel rates will be less for you. And any other preferences you have. If you have known traveler number, your TSA information, please enter it here. But under the frequent traveler programs, if you notice, they'll all be listed here. If you ever have to add a program, and if you check air, the top air programs will be listed right up front. You'll notice, let's say I didn't have a Delta number, it will automatically ask you if you want that to fall for all the SkyTeam bookings. Same thing that happens with American and United. As you can see, their alliances are also signed up here. Combining steps 2 and 3, the initial booking screen, and then choosing your flights and hotels. Building an itinerary with car, air, and hotel is really quite simple. Unfortunately, there is nothing on the screen here that asks you about hotel until you actually click the departure city, and then you can get the find hotel and car right there. So that's a kind of a flaw in Concur right now, I believe. So let's say we were going to book a trip from Orange County to Atlanta. We're going to go April 7th. We're going to come back on the 9th. We're going to depart in the morning, plus or 4. We can also say arrive, and I can say I want to, or you could say I want to arrive at a certain time, plus or minus. For now, we'll just do departing in the morning and departing in the evening. I want to find hotel. I want my car. And I know reference point, I can put an address, or I can click the airport or an actual company location. We have those loaded. And the reference point, let's just say, would be Emory University. I know I'm going there. I want to search by price or schedule. I like to search first by price to get an idea of what the trips cost, and then you can always build your schedule. Once I hit the search, it'll find a location, it finds it, and we'll begin. Now this is the screen that really need to get a good awareness of. The first obviously is this matrix that has the non-stop versus one-stop and the cost differentials. It will actually build you an itinerary based on stops or duration or price. You can do a quick price search this way, but it'll actually build your round trip for you. You can also shop by schedule and choose each one way, and then build your own. These fares I would not get too hung up on. What they are the starting point on what the best fare could be, not necessarily available. So I know that gets sometimes confusing when you go on the website and you say, wait a minute, it's not the same fare as this. But when you actually complete the reservation, you'll see that they'll be exactly the same. If I go back to the fares, shop by fares, and I see these non-stops, one-stops, I can also click duration to see The ones that do have one stops, if I do want to choose that, would show the actual time elapsed with the connections. Now, even though this nonstop is $870 round trip, which actually isn't a bad fare, is $300 more than this Frontier flight. The reason why you don't have to take this Frontier flight, as you can see this red, is because of the horrible connection they're putting you on, 4.5 hours in Denver. So the system is programmed to not require you to take those kinds of itineraries. Let's assume we want to select this Delta flight here. It will bring up if I have a mileage number, which I don't on them, I have American United selected, and that I want to actually reserve that flight and continue. It brings up my car vendors, of which we only have National and Enterprise. For now, I'm going to skip the car, just to show you how to put that in there, and then up come the hotel result. Now, part of the importance of having everything in one reservation is to be able to take a reservation and modify it later, but book it all within the same reservation. Don't go making a separate booking. For now, I'm going to say I'm going to look for a hotel within distance of Emory University. And you can see that they come up here, 0.61, 0.22. I'm going to choose this Holiday Inn. And I notice it says rate changes over duration of stay, $165. Well, I know sometimes people have gone or have used to going on the internet, and I went on the Holiday Inn Express page. They have a non-refundable rate, which obviously you never book those. And I'll see that this rate is $159. Why is the other one $165? Well, notice it says the rate changes over duration of stay. Concur will show you the higher rate. These guys are going to show you the average nightly rate. And when you actually try to book it online, the one with no deposit required, you'll notice in the details the average is $159, but the high rate's $164 and the low rate's $154. If I go over to Concur and select the same booking, and because it's over $150, you have the location of the hotel and you save it, notice the exact same rates will show up, $154 and $164. So Concur unfortunately does not show the average, it shows the high rate, so that's why sometimes it will look different online. I'm going to book this hotel and end the reservation. Going back to the hotel screen, if I hadn't chosen that, just to show you how to complete the booking, you'll notice down the side there are plenty of filters to dial down the kind of hotel and where you're looking, and the amenities button. So Concur does a very good job using software to find different hotels. You may want something that's just e-receipt enabled for Concur expense. But I think it's important that you go in and look through the hotel tool as much as possible to get comfortable with it. Now within this trip itinerary, before I continue to purchase the booking, I can add a car, hotel, or Wi-Fi, or whatever I need within the same booking without starting over and hitting another reservation. Let's say I only booked the first night in the hotel. I can come in and add the second night here versus making a complete separate bookings. The internet is always on the option to purchase the internet. Your flight details are here. It will automatically try to confirm the best seat possible based on my profile, which says aisle. Now, once I click the next button, I come to the trip booking information screen, which brings you to step 4, holding and completing the reservation. I describe it if I want, send a confirmation, and this is the very important part of holding or continuing the reservation. If I hit the hold trip button, all I'm doing is holding the reservation. I am not saying go ahead and purchase it. It will send me an email back that says, hey, you're just holding this. You have not actually ticketed it. As you can see, the trip will automatically cancel if you do not complete it. You'll get an email, of course, that tells you that you've held this reservation. You have a record locator right there. This agency record locator is different than the airline record locator. This agency record locator is your entire trip. Your entire trip is under that locator, air, car, hotel. You will need to know this for TripCase, which is the other mobile tool that we're going to recommend that you use. The airlines have their own locators. As you can see, there's the Delta locator for your trip, and your confirmation for your Holiday Inn. You would have one for the car if we continued there also. If there was another airline on here like United, they would have a separate confirmation code. Once I've held the trip and I return to the travel center, it will tell me that I have an on-hold trip. It will automatically cancel if we don't do it. Well, if I go back in and say, I've emailed my colleagues, everything's fine, I want to purchase this ticket, you're back to the screen you had before, but now when you click Next, versus hold trip, you hit Next again, complete booking, complete the purchase ticket button. Unfortunately, I kind of wish that purchase ticket button was on that same screen as a hold button, but it's not. You can assume at this point your reservation is ready to go and that air travel will go through its quality control and process your reservation. But you have successfully completed the booking. And the last step is using TripCase or TripIt to manage your booking. Once your reservation is made, you're completed and ticketed, you will receive an email from us including the electronic ticket receipt, your travel reservation, and an e-invoice. These are automatically attached as well as an opportunity to download TripCase. Well, you know from Concur that TripIt is always being touted on Concur. Both programs will store your itineraries to your mobile devices and your smart tablets. TripCase will automatically email or alert you when there's flight changes, flight delays, and also when you can log in to get your mobile boarding passes. It will give you a direct link to the airline. You put in the locator and you get your mobile boarding pass. TripIt, though, to enable the Pro version, which does a lot of things that TripCase already does, requires a yearly fee. In summary, I hope you get the last 5 takeaways. Most important is the credit card data is accurate in your profile to make successful bookings. Second, holding a ticket is not the same as purchasing it. So be careful you don't get caught holding a ticket and then not buying it. Please add hotel and car to existing air reservations if needed. Don't make separate reservations for the same trip. And review your final itinerary when it's emailed to you. Any discrepancies are much easily fixed at that point. But most importantly, the air travel team is here to help you and to make your travels much more smooth and hassle-free. We use a variety of sources with our network affiliations, the Biocom Travel Network, different vendor programs, and our Virtuoso Leisure program, as well as Concur. They all tie together, and we'll manage them all. Any questions or comments, feel free to contact me directly. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. It is our goal to make this a very smooth transition and a smooth booking process for all your travelers. Thanks again.